Welcome everyone, Farmer Cop here. This is a video just to let you know that the Plains and Prairies DLC is officially released. It should be available for download for all platforms. If it's not yet available for you, it should be available very soon. Theoretically 5 a.m. Pacific Standard Time or 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time is the release time, I believe. My understanding is from Giant. So hopefully it's out to you. If you don't know anything about it, I did a full breakdown, full review, talking about everything in this pack and testing it all out and showing it all off. I did a separate video, which I'll put a card up on your screen right now if you want to go check that out. I also talk about in that video if this pack is actually worth it. And if you're still wondering if it's worth it, let me just kind of break it down really quick to you. I would say, for the price, which now you can't get the pre-order bonus anymore, it's $10 to buy this. So that $10, there is a lot of equipment in here. If we actually go in the store and take a look at what's in the pack here, we have, several tractors in here. We have Ford as a new brand, a lot of cool versatile equipment. We have a Seed Hawk, which, there's modded stuff that's similar to a lot of this stuff. The Air Boom's pretty cool. They have a cultivator, nothing new there. GEA is a new brand, as well as Trout River, I believe. And then the Fant Rogator's pretty cool. I wish it did Lime, it doesn't, but it's still pretty cool. And an International LT Series truck, which is everything you see out in front of you. So when you see it all out there, it's actually quite a bit. The only thing in front of you that you're seeing that is not technically included in the pack is the case quad track. That's just the base game quad track. I used it for demonstration purposes. However, everything else you are seeing out in front of you, and it goes all the way down here to the far end, is all included in this pack. Now, those are the three different customization options for the Rogator, the Fent Rogator, so that's not three different pieces of equipment, but still, you get the point. There's a lot of stuff out here. I don't think anything else is actually doubled up, though. I think I guess technically speaking, the trucks. There's two international trucks in two different configurations, but everything else out here is just a single version of itself. But anyhow, if you like working on maps with large open fields and a lot of space, I honestly think this pack is probably worth it. Or if you're just like a diehard Ford fan and you play on console and you really want to have Ford. However, because this is now in the game as a brand, Ford Tractor, not Ford Trucks, they're different. I know they're the same, but different. It's complicated. We're not here to get into that. But essentially, the brand for Ford Tractors is allowed to be used. So theoretically speaking, that means modders can send mods out to all platforms that have the Ford brand. So even if you don't purchase this pack, if you're just looking forward to Ford and you want Ford right away, you'll have to purchase the pack, obviously. But I would bet that in due time, we will see a lot of Ford mods come out for all platforms. I could be wrong about that, but I think that if you wait, you'll probably see some Ford mods if that's the only reason you were looking to buy this pack. If you work only on small farms and small fields, this pack is not for you, and I would recommend you do not buy it. I am not paid to say that you should buy it or don't buy it. Yes, Giant sent me the DLC for free because I'm a partner with them, but I don't... the only thing that would benefit me if you buy the pack is if you use my link, which is in the description. Yes, you can do that if you'd like to. That's the PC-only Giants version of the game, which most of you guys don't use. You can use that DLC to apply to other versions of the game, such as Steam or Epic Games. You can use the DLCs from Giants to work with that. But most of you guys that watch, or probably about half of my audience, is honestly console players, so you guys can't use my link anyways. So that's the only way that it would go to support the channel. If you wanted to do that, that's totally fine for you, but don't feel obligated, obviously, to do that. I would say that those are the reasons to think about when trying to buy this pack or not. The other thing I would say is I want to talk a little bit about the Seasons Pass. Obviously, if you get the Seasons Pass, not only do you get this entire pack included with it, you also will get the Nexat pack, which came out earlier. Some of you may care about that, may not care about that, totally up to you. And you also get the third DLC this year, as well as the Year 1 expansion. Now, the third DLC is going to be most likely like, I believe, a Mercedes pack, just because the stars align, I guess, is a phrase that's often used by Mercedes, and there's been some teasers on like Mercedes social media that it's potentially coming to Farming Simulator, so we're pretty much guessing it's going to be the Mercedes or some sort of Mercedes DLC. So if you care about that, that's another thing to think about there. The Year 1 expansion is going to be pretty cool. I'm actually pretty excited about that. I think that the Year 1 expansion will be pretty much worth your money, almost guaranteed. I believe, based on the photo that we got and kind of my guesses, I'm going to guess that we're going to get like Highland cows as like a new animal breed. I'm also going to guess that we're going to get a UK map based on that, and then of course some equipment and stuff to go along with that. Maybe a couple other features. I'm pretty excited about that. I don't really care too much about Mercedes. I think it'll be a cool pack. This one so far has been my favorite pack out of the two. I mean, there's only been two so far, but we'll kind of see. I did really enjoy the Nexat pack, though, I will be honest. I know a lot of people had some problems with it, and I had some problems with it as well. However, I did really enjoy playing with it. So if you buy the Year 1 Seasons Pass, it's more money than buying this DLC by itself, but The Year 1 Season Pass includes the Nexat pack, this pack, the Plains and Prairies pack, that is, and it also includes probably the Mercedes pack, I'll say, and then the Year 1 expansion, so that you get all 4 of those, and when you buy these Seasons Pass, instead of buying each of them separately, you end up saving about 25% or so. So if you are someone who typically buys most of the DLCs, or you like the DLCs you've seen so far, I would say it's worth it to get the Seasons Pass. I know a lot of you guys already have the Seasons Pass, which is great. You can also use my link down below, of course, if you want to, but don't feel obligated to do that. I just want you guys to get what you want, and if you don't want to buy in this stuff, then don't buy it. Definitely don't spend the money if you're not actually going to enjoy it. I just want to put that information out so you guys have it available. But yeah, I think, honestly, the highlights for this pack, though, going back to the Plains and Prairies specifically, there's a lot of really cool versatile tractors, I will say that. Specifically, I was actually really excited about a couple in particular. One, this guy, the smaller versatile tractor, and then actually, where is this guy right here? This is smaller for this pack, but still a large tractor. This is a pretty beefy, cool looking. I'm not a big fan of like the articulated tractors, so like this one's pretty good, and that's probably mostly because I play with keyboard and mouse, so it's kind of my fault. This one though is pretty cool. It is articulated, a lot of horsepower. It's just a cool kind of relic tractor, so kind of a cool item. I'm not sure how effective it will be on your farm. I will say though, if you get into this guy and you get in the cab, it has that, which is the rear hitch, which would be super cool if it worked. That is obviously not my rear hitch because I have this hooked up and there's cement below, not dirt. That just seems like an oversight to me. So yeah, I mean, everything functionality-wise works in this in terms of, like, yes, a tractor will be a tractor, a seeder will be a seeder, a planter, and so on. However, there's just maybe some minor things like that where I'm like, you know, they probably should have fixed that. Animations were added to, let me go through my set here. Animations were added that are pretty good for things like covers coming off. We'll see that here. That's pretty good. If I'm not mistaken, base game stuff doesn't have that, right? And also, you'll see it like with this guy right here. I think Z is the key. There we go. And like even like those animations, like those are pretty cool. But I don't think we've had that in base game stuff, so that's pretty cool. I like the animation. That's kind of a highlight for me. Obviously, that one of the big things, and probably the biggest thing actually, is Ford coming to the pack. We only have 2 Ford tractors here, which are essentially the versatile tractors, but with Ford branding. But it's still cool. It's cool to get a new brand. I always like that. I know a lot of you guys are big Ford tractor fans. I am actually as well. My grandpa had a Ford tractor when I was growing up, so there's a bit of nostalgia there, which is pretty cool. Some of you guys are a big fan of the trucks, and you guys really like the international trucks. There are a lot of customization options, actually, for these. These are just 2 of the cab configuration. There's a bunch of other stuff you can do, which is pretty cool. The Fendt Rogator is pretty cool. I think the one thing they kind of missed or oversaw with the Fendt Rogator is it has this wonderful big box fertilizer spreader in the back, but it only does fertilizer. It doesn't do lime. I think that's an oversight. Now, maybe in real life, Fendt doesn't recommend you put lime in it, and that's why they didn't put lime in it. That's probably the case, but still, I think that's a bit of an oversight. One thing I will say is pretty cool, actually. If I can get into this truck right here. I'm going to have to tab to it, aren't I? Because I'm in flight mode. Stand by, everyone. Let me get over to this truck. This trailer's pretty cool, the Trout River trailer. You can, manually raise it, which I think this is probably one of the cool parts about this pack, and you can obviously unload out the back. You can load up fertilizer spreaders that way, but it's just a kind of a cool trailer. This is something a little bit different. I thought this was pretty cool, but it is what it is. It might be something you're excited about. It may not be. From what I've got from the comments, it's been probably about 70%-ish of you guys. And I mean, my numbers could be completely wrong. It's not like I did a scientific study on it, guys, so don't crucify me in the comments if I got this wrong, but it seemed like you guys are about 70%, oh, this is a cool pack, I want to get it, and there are 30% like, not really for me. No one seems to be like super negative, which I think is awesome, and I love that, because this super negativity is usually never productive. And there's nothing broken, like everything works. I tested it all. I had a couple issues in my video testing some of the things on here, but it was my fault, and reading the comments, it was definitely my fault. Everything works. Like, there's no, like, all the functionalities here. You're not going to have broken stuff in here. There may be a couple little details that I think I wish would have been different, but nothing doesn't work. So if you're worried about that, this seems to be working just fine, and I think it's a good pack overall. I would say that if you like larger equipment, I think I'd recommend this pack. If you only play on small farms, obviously I think this pack's a waste of money for you because it's all big equipment, so that's what I would say about that. But anyhow, that's what I got for you guys. Hopefully that'll help you make a more educated, informed decision about what you want to do with your money and whether you want to buy this or the season pass or any other DLCs. But there you go. I just want to get that information out to you guys. If you guys enjoyed this video, please drop a like down below. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button up on the screen to join the Farmer Cop channel and turn your notification bell so you don't miss any future videos I may post. This has been Farmer Cop. Thank you guys for coming and watching. I'll see you guys on the next one.